Adam Montgomery has been convicted of killing his daughter, Harmony. Now, that guilty verdict comes more than 4 years after authorities believe the 5-year-old girl was murdered.
Tonight, investigators say they're committed to finding the child's body, which is still missing. NBC 10's Michael Rosenfield joins us live in Manchester with more from court and reaction from Harmony's mother. Michael.
Well, Glenn, Harmony's mom said today this really isn't over. Harmony's body still needs to be found, but there was justice here at this courthouse today.
Do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Adam Montgomery found guilty on all charges, including the murder of his 5-year-old daughter, Harmony.
I thought he was going to get away with something, but he didn't get away with anything.
It took about 7 hours of deliberations by the jury. The verdict marks the end of a long chapter in the gruesome crime.
This is about a 5-year-old girl that was murdered by her father, and I can think of no worse crime.
Prosecutors say Adam, who had legal custody of his daughter, punched her repeatedly after she had too many bathroom accidents in the car in which they were living in Manchester, New Hampshire. He then hid her dead body in numerous places, including a cooler and a ceiling vent, before finally disposing of it months later. Harmony has never been found.
That's still a huge part of it. It's not over. It's not going to be over until she's found, and we are still looking.
But he knows where she is.
Prosecutors say they're confident they've narrowed down the area of possible locations for Harmony's body. Evidence shows Adam drove a U-Haul truck from New Hampshire to Massachusetts, and they know how much he drove.
Adam Montgomery was from the Revere area. He would know it very well. That is still a high area of interest.
Harmony was killed in December of 2019, according to investigators, but she wasn't reported missing until nearly 2 years later, when her biological mother, Crystal Story, went to police after continually running into roadblocks trying to make contact with her daughter.
But I hope that what he did plays over in his mind every single waking moment that he lives on this earth. And I hope that he never falls asleep without seeing her beautiful face. So Adam Montgomery chose not to attend his trial, but he will have to be here for sentencing. That will likely take place in March or April, and he is facing up to life in prison. Live in Manchester tonight, Michael Rosenfield, NBC 10 Boston.
Okay, Michael, today the Office of Child Advocate here in Massachusetts reminded us of who Harmony was, a toddler, blind in one eye and dealing with mobility challenges, who lived life as fully and brightly as her smile. The child advocate investigator of Harmony's DCF case told me after her investigation was released, a source came forward to say Harmony was afraid of her father long before she was sent to live with him. It's a stinging new rebuke of the attorney appointed to represent Harmony's interests. And it's a story you'll only see on NBC 10 Boston.
We received information after we issued our report that indicated that Harmony was afraid of her father. And so the question that I really want to ask, but can't ask because of attorney-client privilege, is, did you have a conversation with Harmony? Did you explain to Harmony what it would mean for her to move out of state, right?
In the Massachusetts custody trial, Harmony's lawyer told the court Harmony wanted to be with her father. The judge agreed, and Adam Montgomery took his daughter to New Hampshire.
Well, you've never seen Adam Montgomery's home. How did you make a substituted judgment on the basis of what was 10 visits that this made sense for Harmony to go with her father?
So you trust the source that told you Harmony was afraid of her? So it's someone who would know?
Yeah. It just reinforced for us how premature the decision was to send her home. And that has bothered me since the person called to share that information.
When Harmony's case came to light, New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu admonished the Massachusetts courts.
It was the Massachusetts courts that placed Harmony with a horrific individual.
The Office of the Child Advocate report was also critical of the judicial system, the attorneys, DCF too. And Thursday, a court spokesperson told us the report's recommendations assigned to them are in the process of being implemented, all of them, in an effort to ensure the system never fails another child in the way it failed Harmony. So, Priscilla, now the state's child advocate, who you just heard from there, wants new legislation that will require oversight of the attorneys who are appointed to represent children in these DCF custody cases. Her hope is that proper oversight of new professional standards will catch this kind of judicial misstep in the future.
So, okay, what about the lawyer who represented Harmony? What does that person have to say with these new developments and what they hope for in the future for other children?
This is a really interesting part of the story. We don't know who the lawyer is. It's legally protected. And what the child advocate says is that she can't question that person because of attorney-client privilege.
Interesting. All right, Glenn, thank you. Meanwhile, Adam Montgomery's sentencing is expected to take place this spring. We will keep following this developing story on the air and online at NBC10boston.com.